All right, here we go again. Actually, you folks probably didn't notice it, but we've been off for a couple of weeks because Austin had to take a vacation. Boy, what a great union he must have. But we're back at it, and I don't think we got anything new here today, but in the near future, I've been working on a few new tunes that you may not have heard of. Yes, believe it or not. So that first tune, called All of Me from 1931. Now that was a tune that most of the tunes we do, a lot of them anyway, are from shows or movies or whatever. And that song wasn't. They just sat down one day, wrote a tune, let's call it All of Me, and, put it in the key of C or whatever you want to play it in, and here we are. So not a lot of history in that tune, just written in 1931. Of course, has become a jazz standard, which is good for us. So we're going to move on to our second tune. This also was not written for a show or a movie or anything. It was written in 1955, and it was introduced by, what's this guy's name? Frank Sinatra, yeah, on one of his albums, and the album was called the same name. Not the same name, we've gone through this before. The album was not called the same name. The album was called the same name as the name of the song we're going to play. And the song, and this is a pretty tune, and rarely do you hear it today, but it was the album title, and of course the title song from that album, called In the Wee Small Hours of the Mornings, strictly Sinatra. Here we go. In the wee small hours of the morning is the time you think about her most of all, yeah. Sad, sad tune, but I guess we've all been there at one time or another. And, I don't do that tune a lot. I think I've got to start doing that more. Not here, but, my live performances. COVID, live performance, sure, right. Anyway, don't get me started on that. Moving right along. This song actually was from, well, they called it a review. I suppose a review is a show that collapses. But 1929, it was from a review. And the review lasted only 69 performances. But they needed a song. And the fellows that were producing, well, the head producer of the show, was one of these guys that figured that people don't work well unless they're under pressure. So he had a guy writing songs for the show, and he stuck him in a room, and he says, look, he's not going to lock the door, and you're not coming out until you bring a song with you. So this poor guy gets locked in the room, no food, no water, no nothing, start writing. Well, knock on the door, I got a song. And it's, again, a song you don't hear too often, from 1929. It's called I May Be Wrong. No, not, that's the name of the song, not that I may be wrong, but I think you're wonderful. Here we go. may be wrong, but I think you're wonderful. That's all you folks out there who have been so supportive of us in all these years. And yes, the old guy's still here, still doing it. You notice there's no piano today. I've been having a few little technical issues, and I have a good friend who is not only a great guitar player, but he's also a great technician. And we are going to sit down tomorrow afternoon and take all this stuff apart. And it's nothing that you would notice, but I notice when I'm playing, and sometimes it can drive you, which gets me to the title of our next song, Could Drive You Crazy. Fella named Hugh Nelson, H-U-G-H, Hugh Nelson, in Nashville around 1960, 1961. He was a songwriter, and he wrote a song. Well, he wrote a lot of songs, but this particular song he kind of really liked. He was trying to find an artist to record it. So he happened to be in a place that served adult beverages one night, and he ran into Patsy Cline's husband. And he presented the song to Patsy Cline's husband. And Patsy Cline's husband liked it. Just let me take it home, see what she thinks. Took it home, she hated it. Wanted nothing to do with it, did not want to record it, did not want to sing it, that's it. Well, as the saying goes, fortunately, cooler heads prevailed. And she did record it. Unfortunately, like a year or so later, she did die in that horrible plane crash. Now, if you go to the Country Music Hall of Fame in Nashville, now you don't have to be a country music fan. This is a great place. And they have an entire room dedicated to Patsy Cline. And as you walk in and walk around this room, this song is being played. Some folks have said it should be my theme song, but we'll talk about that later. Oh, by the way, Hugh Nelson went on to become Willie Nelson. And of course, Willie also recorded this song several years later. Crazy. crazy, crazy. That, in my opinion, I think that's probably about the best country song ever written. And back in, that era, 50s, early 60s, there weren't a lot of strictly country stations, and the country music was also played, on the pop stations, and that was a big hit, not only with the country folk, but just people that listen to popular music. Crazy, crazy. One of the great, great country tunes. All right, enough of crazy. Next tune, 1963, written by a fellow whose name I have mentioned many times on this show, Antonio Carlos Jobim. Antonio Carlos Jobim. Of course, he was from Brazil and part of the great, great Latin bossa nova invasion in the early 60s. And this song was from 1963, and of course it became such a big hit in such a short time that actually somebody wrote English words to it, because of course all the songs out of Brazil at that time were written in Portuguese, and not too many people understood Portuguese in America, so they had to throw the English lyrics in. But one of my favorite songs, just about everything that he ever wrote is just such a great tune. Girl from Ipanema, things like that. Little tune called Meditation. That's what it is, Meditation. Meditation, meditation. Well, you know, we got a couple of extra minutes here today. I thought we might have, because, you know, there's no piano or anything, and so I gotta just throw in a little bonus tune on me. No extra charge. Like I've said before when I've done this, when you get your cable bill, make sure there's no charge for the bonus tune on Accordion Cool. But this tune was written in 1869. Not 1969, 1869. And it was written as a drinking song. It's a simple little tune. Around 1939, you ever hear of a guy named Glenn Miller, the Glenn Miller Orchestra? The Glenn Miller Orchestra had a big hit on this tune. Little tune called Little Brown Jug. So here we go. Glenn Miller, 1939. Some old drunk back in 1869. Well, it gets down near the end of our time today. We're going to close with one of my favorite songs, 1937. It was written for a show called Babes in Arms by great songwriting duo Rodgers and Hart. And they wrote a lot. In fact, for this particular show, there were a lot of tunes that came out of it. But this tune was kind of a spoof on New York high society. You know, the people walk around with their nose up in the air. And it's called The Lady. The Lady is a Tramp. So here we go. She gets too hungry for dinner at 8. She digs the theater but never arrives late, which are things that you just don't do in high society. So that's what the song is all about. Well, you know, we are about at the end of our time. Once again, Austin's on top of his game now as he just came back from vacation. Thank you to Austin for getting us through another one. And of course, thanks for all you folks tuning in and watching, listening, whatever it is that you do. And don't forget, bring those young uns in. They don't hear this music today. So let's take it home with a little more, oh, I don't know, that old lady, Who's the Tramp. Here we go.